Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to set up the Ring Chime Pro. Basically this is set up almost the same way as you did the Ring Chime. On your Ring app, when you open it up, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see set up a device. You want to enter that. We're going to pick chimes. On the back of the product, there'll be a QRC code. What you want to do is you want to scan the QRC code. It's going to ask you for your address. You hit continue. And then it's going to tell you to find a central location for your device to plug it in. So I'm going to go ahead and find a place that's kind of in the middle of the house, which we've already done. And then we're going to go ahead and hit continue. I'm just going to pick hallway for now. And then it's going to want me to prompt to plug my device in. And then it's going to prompt us to plug our device in. So I've plugged in my device and we've got a green light, so we're powered on. So back to the app, we're going to hit Chime Pro is on, next. Wait for up to 2 minutes for it to be green. And then we want the green light to be flashing. As you can see underneath of it, the night light just popped itself on, so it's still in setup mode. And it's making some funny noises. And now our green light flashes, so we know we're in setup mode now. So we're going to put the green light of flashing, click that box. It's going to ask you to join a network. Now what it's doing is joining your phone to the Ring device that you're hooking up, in this case the Chime Pro. So we're going to go ahead and let it join. Sometimes you have to physically go into your settings and pick the Ring device. It just depends on your phone, the software version, and the device you're setting up. Sometimes it'll connect automatically.
The Ring app is now connected to your Chime Pro.
So the Ring app's connected now.
Scanning for Wi-Fi networks.
We're going to add the Wi-Fi network next. So basically select your Wi-Fi network.
Chime Pro is connecting to your Wi-Fi network.
Once it finds your Wi-Fi network, you're going to put in your password for the Wi-Fi network, and then it's going to do an update. If you have an Eero mesh, which I do, it'll show me that it actually joined by itself. I don't have to put in the password because Ring and Eero are the same company. If you don't have an Eero mesh or something like that that already has your password stored, it'll come up, you'll pick your network, and you'll store it off of that. So I'm going to hit continue. A few steps left. I'm going to hit continue. And as you can hear, she's going to update. The update takes up to 20 minutes long. So sometimes when you're setting up a Ring device, when you plug it in, you turn it on. Cameras are a good example. The doorbell, the Video Doorbell Pro seems to be one of the biggest ones. It comes up, it pops up on your screen, and then it locks up and it doesn't work anymore. Normally it's doing a software update, and it takes up to about 20 minutes for that to happen. If you try to take it out, delete it, reset it, mess with it in the meantime, you can sometimes jam it, and then you've got to start your whole process over again. So always allow time for it to do its update. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and select alerts. Basically this will work just like your phone did before. So if you want the device you just plugged in to give you alerts when someone walks by it, let's say you're going to put this in on a back porch to where you can actually hear somebody. If you're out back, you want to hear somebody walk up on the front porch, you can set the alert on, or you can actually turn the chime on, so when someone rings the bell, it'll give you the chime. I'm going to hit continue. Connect to the network, and again it's going to update the firmware. We're going to wait for it to update the firmware, and then I'll come back once it's done updating. Now while you're waiting for the Ring app to update, you'll notice sometimes the chime you're installing, the night light pops on, the light goes from blue to green, green to red. Basically it's just doing an update. It resets itself, it turns itself on and off. Like there, it just turned the night light back off. Alright, so the next step would be connecting everything to this device. Let's say you had some weak signals in the house. Basically when you hit connect, it would ask you which devices to connect to this Pro Chime. I'm not going to connect any of them to it since all my signal strengths are good, but if any of your signals were weak or low, you could basically add them to this network and get a better signal from them. So I'm going to skip for now. I'm going to continue. Alright, the next thing is going to test my connection. Since I didn't connect anything to it, it's not going to matter because there's nothing in there to test. If you had a device, you would hit run test and it would tell you whether you need to move your chime module closer or further away from the devices. So we'll skip that. and then the tones it should play. So we're going to select the tones. Basically, when the doorbell rings, this is just like if you were setting up your doorbell, you would pick the type of note or whatever you wanted to hear. If you want to hear a Westminster chime, you would pick the Westminster chime. So when someone rings the door, that's what you would hear. I'm going to save and continue. Same with the motion detection. You can pick anything you want. You can do Westminster, Westminster soft. That will let someone know you're walking by. And you can set those for individual cameras. So if someone walks by the back camera, it would make that sound. So we're going to save that. We're going to continue. And the next thing we're going to do is so I'm going to go into the chimes mode. I have two different chimes in here. One is a regular small chime and the other is a Chime Pro. Chime Pro's got that little antenna on it. The regular chime does not. So if we look in the menu here, the Chime Pro has 5 different menu settings. The chime itself only has 4. Okay, so you're getting an additional menu setting. That's the Pro Network. And the Pro Network, again, that's where you would connect all your devices into this if you wanted to. Now the night light is activated by the ambient lighting in the room. So if the room turns dark, the night light turns on automatically. So that's a nice feature to have. Snooze settings basically works exactly the same as your front door. If you had this enabled, like I haven't turned on any motion alerts or any doorbell alerts yet, but if I had those turned on, basically you can mute them for 15 minutes, 2 hours, 4 hours. The device health basically just runs a software check and makes sure everything's working properly. Tells you the software is up to date. If you're having problems with it and you call Ring, you'll need that MAC address. Tells you what time the software was updated. To go back to the audio settings, basically you've got chime alerts, which is what we just did. This would basically be like if someone moves by the front door, I can turn that on. So when somebody walks by the front door, I get the alerts now on the device I just installed. Let's see, general settings. We could rename the devices. So let's say this is named Hallway. We can make it Hallway 2, or you could type in whatever custom name you wanted so you would know that this was at the end of the hallway or in your kid's room or on the back porch. Status light. The status light is the blue light that's on the device. So when it's connected, there's a blue light on the device. If you turn that off, basically it gets rid of the blue light. So there's no blue light on the device now. If you've got the night light on, basically the night light still comes on. All you're doing is disabling the blue status light on there. I would recommend turning it off. It's just kind of an eyesore to me. And that's all there is to setting up the Ring Pro chime. And again, just make sure you remember when you're setting up a Ring Pro chime, even though it says Wi-Fi extender, it's not really a Wi-Fi extender for the Wi-Fi network. It's only a Wi-Fi extender for Ring devices.